And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ashkhen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to CT State One College International Student Admissions Overview webinar. My name is Ashkhen Strack. I am the Director of International Student Admissions at CT State. And in today's webinar, we will go over the international team's main tasks and functions, as well as some of the projects that we've been working on our transition to One College. At the end of the webinar, we will have time for a Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them at the end of the talk. First, I would like to introduce the International Student Admissions team, who are the facilitators for today's. They're all International Student Services coordinators and designated school officials. We have Jennifer Wissink with us today from Naugatuck Valley, Danlei Wang from Gateway, and Justyna Davis from Norwalk. And I'm located at Tunxus. And take it away.
Hello, everyone. As we start the main part of the presentation, I would like to go over some terminologies that you might hear us discussing during the presentation, or that you might encounter in a discussion with one of our international students. So what is an international student? For our purposes, it's defined specifically as someone who's in the US specifically for the purpose of study. They are not a US citizen or green card holder, and they have a non-immigrant F1 student visa, or they're intending to use the non-immigrant F1 student visa. The term international student for our purposes does not include just anybody who is from another country originally. It is specifically related to their visa status. The F1 student visa is the type of visa that our international students receive. It is specifically for someone that's coming to the US just for the purpose of study. DSO is also known as a designated school official. That is the role that most of us on the team have. And that is an employee assisting and overseeing students who are studying at a US college or university or high school on a student visa. And that designation allows us to sign their immigration documents and issue their immigration documents and otherwise advise them about their legal status in regards to the student visa. A PDSO, the principal designated school official, is a DSO with added responsibilities and things that they can do with our school's SEVP designation. SEVP is the Student and Exchange Visitor Program. That is a program on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security. It manages schools and international students. And in order for us to have international students at our school and issue them the documentation they need for their student visa, we must be SEVP certified. At present, on 9 of the campuses in our system are SEVP certified, but once the consolidation is in place, we will be pursuing SEVP certification for all campuses in the system. SEVIS is the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System, and that is a web-based Department of Homeland Security, or a web-based system, excuse me, that is covered by the Department of Homeland Security, and it's used to maintain information on international students and SEVP certified schools. SEVIS is the system that we use to issue students their I-20s and to do other reporting that is mandated by the government or is necessary to keep a student's immigration record updated. The I-20 is a document issued by an SEVP certified school certifying that a student has been admitted to a full-time degree program and has demonstrated sufficient funds to pay for that program, and in many cases that they have the English proficiency to pursue that program. The I-20 form allows foreign nationals to apply for their student visa or for student visa status. And that is then the documentation that they carry to prove that status while they're in the US.
All right. Hi, everyone. In this part, we will talk about the source of international students and the benefits of international enrollment. As you can see, our international students population is very diverse. Our students come from all over the world. Currently, we have a little over 300 international students from more than 40 countries. The majority of them come from Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Nigeria, and Jamaica. Norwalk hosts most of our international students. There are multiple benefits to have international students on our campuses. First of all, it is a great enhancement to the cultural diversity of city-state. By bringing in international students and working hard on fostering a culturally diverse campus environment, we offer the authentic opportunities for all the students to learn about themselves and the world they live in. In addition to having a diverse campus and community, diversity in the classroom is also extremely important. Bringing together people from multiple cultures into one classroom can make for a very lively and productive learning experience, the one that reflects the world our student will graduate into. Learning alongside people from different places around the world helps our students learn to avoid stereotyping and establish more informed opinions. It gives them a better understanding of international issues, foreign affairs, and immigration issues. It provides opportunities for unique cross-cultural experiences and forces them to confront different interpersonal and communication styles, which makes them better active listeners and critical thinkers. And it opens them to wonderful personal and professional connections that will benefit them throughout their careers. Furthermore, enrolling international students creates significant income opportunities for our institution. As economic conditions in countries around the world continue to improve, more and more people are looking to get the best education possible for themselves and their children. U.S. higher education institutions are highly sought after for international students who want to learn from the world-class faculty and broaden their visions. They value the opportunity to come to City State and pay out-of-state tuition each year.
Hello. In this section, I would like to talk about our main tasks and duties. First, I will go over compliance and reporting, which is a big part of our daily tasks. As a SCBP certified school, we are required by federal law to comply with federal regulations. All four of us serve as designated school officials in short DSOs, and it is our responsibility to update and maintain international students' records in CBs to meet regulatory requirements. The DSO advise students and their sponsors, as well as Connecticut State's leadership, on federal regulations related to visa procedures. We also educate students on maintaining their legal status while in the US. One of the major projects for our team is the Connecticut State's SCVP certification so that we can continue to accept international students as one college. SCVP certification allows institutions to issue Forms I-20, certificates of eligibility for non-immigrant student status, to prospective international students after admitting them for a program of study. Prospective international students use that I-20 form to apply for the F1 visa to enter the US, or in some cases to change the status while in the US. At the moment, 9 out of the 12 community colleges hold individual SCVP certifications and can continue to accept international students. But once our NECHE accreditation is completed, we will start SCVP certification for Connecticut State as one institution, and it will include all 12 campuses. This process may take up to a year, but we, the international team, will be working closely with the regional SCVP reps to ensure compliance.
Hey, Jen.
Hi. Now I'd like to talk about our planned international student services, or what we actually are currently doing for international student services. We have communications with students from even before they apply to CT State. We talk to people about the admissions process, about the colleges, about the opportunities that we offer. And we also then help them through the admissions process. And then once they're here, we are their support people, particularly in regards to educating students about their immigration status, their obligations that come with that legal status, and how they can be successful students. So we are communicating and counseling international students, throughout their time at CT State. We also are responsible for maintaining their immigration records and reporting to the Department of Homeland Security through the SEVIS system who is compliant with their obligations and who is not. And that is sort of an extra reason for us to be working hard to educate students about what they need to do. We also do a lot of application processing, particularly now with the consolidation. So we're very actively involved with students right from the beginning.
Another important aspect of this team's work is outreach and in recruitment. We are actively working on developing and implementing marketing and outreach strategies to increase. We have a plan to collaborate with marketing companies, agencies, colleges and universities abroad and in the United States to promote CT State internationally. Also, we are starting to work on building and maintaining strong relationships with high schools in the state of Connecticut that are SEVP certified and currently have high school students on F1 visa who might be interested in coming to CT State as college students. Also, we will be representing CT State at on and off campus events, and utilizing different strategies to increase our student enrollment. All of that is in the works.
Training is another area of our daily undertakings that we've been involved in recently. We have been developing training workshops to support the enrollment and international student experience. We put together an advising guide for faculty and staff, working with international students as well as students as a student guide on how to maintain the F1 visa status. Starting with the spring 2023, we have been offering multiple training info sessions for GPA and faculty advisors, application processing, recruiting, and onboarding teams. Training will remain a vital part of our team's functions, and we will be scheduling more webinars and info sessions for the fall 2023 semester.
All right, last but not the least, we will talk briefly about our new webpage that has been running live since March. On this webpage, you can find all relevant information and the links to useful resources, as well as our contact information. It is very user-friendly, and it's open to all the applicants, new and continuing student, advisors, and other staff working with international students. I'm going to share my screen and to give you the better idea about how our web page looks like. Okay. So this is our web page for international student admissions. On the top, there are quick links that will bring you directly to the most important and most frequently asked questions, including admissions requirement and Form I-20, tuition rate, CVIS fee, F1 visa, and how to maintain F1 status. All right. So all the links are clickable and will bring you directly to the question you want to ask. And as we scroll down, and we'll see the details of those topics. And we also have a section for the students, the like prospective student who haven't been here in the US. When you click the plus sign, you will see the drop-down list for more information and resources. And we also have the additional information for the current student. They will give them all kind of information and resources about how to transfer to City State, how to apply for the change of status, how to pay for the CVIS fee, and prepare for the course registration. As we go down, we have the additional information for the international student, how to maintain F1 visa status, enrollment, work and practical training, and program completion. As we keep scrolling down to the bottom, we will see the helpful terms and all kind of forms right here. When you click those forms, it will bring you directly to the form. You can download that and use that later. And here is our international student admissions staff. This is our mailbox. And here are the information for our 4 staff, our email address, and the phone number. This team worked hard on creating content for the webpage, and it's still work in progress. We're uploading more forms and documents to it and making other relevant updates.
All right, and this brings us to the end of our brief presentation. We hope you found it helpful and somewhat useful. Thank you for coming. And if anybody has any questions, this is a good time to go ahead with the questions. Thank you.
So if anybody else has any other questions, they can add them to the chat. The only one that I see so far is regarding if you assist with immigrant students.
I can take that. We work specifically with students who are on F1 student visa. We do get questions about different types of immigrant students who hold different types of visas, maybe a work visa or a visitor's visa, refugees, undocumented students. Those are really not within the scope of our responsibilities and our work. Of course, we can answer questions, but those lay in the scope of regular admissions. This team focuses specifically on international students in the narrow understanding of that term. Only the students who hold an F1 student, non-immigrant student visa.
All right. If we can give it one more minute and just see if anybody else has any questions they'd like to add. I just wanted to thank you all for coming out and giving us such a great presentation. And this will be posted with the slide deck on ctstate.edu/webinars within a day or two. It usually takes a day to get up. And I don't see any other questions, so I think that we are all set. So I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and thank you again so much.
Thank you.